In Lesson 3, we're continuing with XLOOKUP. We're going to look at how to return multiple values, the match mode, wildcard searches, and the search mode. We'll also take a look at the XMatch function. Okay, let's take a look at some more options with XLOOKUP here. Let's create another new sheet. Let's say we've got a basic employee list going on here, where we've got some employees. Richard Rost, right? 1102 is going to be Sue Jones. And you've got last name and first name in two separate columns, as you should, right? 1103, Bill Peters, and so on. I'll put a bunch of these in. All right, just got a basic list of them here. I'll put a header row across the top, insert a row. Let's say this is their employee ID, their first name, and their last name. Whoops, can't type today. All right, let's highlight the row here. Maybe give it a splash of color, as I like to do. So there's our basic employee list. Now let's say over here we've got a list of orders. Okay, so let's say we've got the order number. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. And what I want to have happen is I'm going to put in the employee ID, so the EID. Let's call this the EID. It doesn't matter. It's just for maintaining consistency, right? The EID, you know me, I'm a database nerd, so I like to make sure that my field names are the same, right? All right. I don't want to have to type in all this information again. I want to be able to look it up from over here. So it's a pretty simple lookup. So if I type in 1103, all right, I want the system to put the first name and last name right there. Now you're probably going to have this on a separate sheet, by the way, and of course XLOOKUP works across sheets just like VLOOKUP did. This I'm just putting here for the purposes of class, so it's easier to see on one screen, but this could very easily be on a different sheet. So I want first name to go here, and I want last name to go here. All right. So we're going to use equals XLOOKUP, open parenthesis, what's my lookup value, that guy, comma, what's my lookup array, where's the list of values, right there, and then again hit F4, so we set up absolute references, comma. Now what's the return array? Check this out. Normally we would just do this, but in this case I want to return two columns. All right, XLOOKUP can cover this in one function, as opposed to before you'd need two separate VLOOKUPs to do this. Ready? Boom. Look at that. Bill and Peters. And you can see how it's kind of like a light blue around that. That's kind of their way of indicating that, hey, this is part of the same function. Not quite merged cells, but it looks like it. All right, let's do the next one here. All right, let's do 1101. Enter. And again, I just have to autofill down that one. See that? We autofill down the whole column. I'm getting NAs. What is NAs? Well, NA, as you are probably familiar with since you've taken a bunch of my classes, NA means that the value is not found. Now, fortunately, I'm going to go back up to the first one here. There is another option in here, comma, called if not found. You can either return a cell or you can put some actual words in here, like not found. Like that. And then if I drag this down, boom, not found. See that? You can specify. You used to have to wrap that inside of another call, another function, but now XLOOKUP lets you handle it all at once. All right, and as I come over here, or you could put blank in here if you want to. All right. Again, I recommend modify the first one and then bring it down. You could do something like this. Like, I don't recommend just doing it like that, because then you won't know that there's a function there. If I just do like a dash, something simple that'll just show you like that. That there's nothing, that value was not found. All right, so if I go 1103 again, oh, look what I did, rookie mistake. What did I forget to do? And I thought about redoing the video, but I figured I'm going to leave this in here because you're going to do this. This will make you much more aware of the mistake that I just made because I wasn't paying attention. Look what I did. All right, I fixed the absolute reference on this, but I didn't fix the absolute reference for my return array, F4. For those of you who caught that while I was recording and thought to yourselves, well, he screwed up. Yep, I did. All right, drag it down, and now it's working correctly. All right, and then of course 1107, and if you type in something like, some ID that doesn't exist, again, you'll see something like that. All right, so 1102. So that's the not found, the match not found, and how you return multiple values. Moving on, let's talk about wildcard searches. Let's say you want to search in the list of employees, and you know a part of the employee's name, but you don't know how to spell the whole thing, and you want to pull back their employee ID. So let's say we got a little search form, All right, let's say first name search. Okay, and we'll put our value in here. So I'll put a little box around it like that. Maybe make it make it yellow, make it inviting, right? First name search. And when they type something in here, the ID, let's say the, all right, well, let's do it like this. Let's put it over here, and then the ID will appear down below it, right there in this little box. You want to do a quick little lookup, right? You want to say, oh, what's James's employee ID? You've got 5,000 records in this spreadsheet. You don't feel like searching for it. Okay, so what you do is, let's say you put in here James exactly. Okay, we already see how to do that. XLOOKUP, right? Lookup value James, comma, from the lookup array. In this case, the array is the first name. We don't have to F4 it because we're not going to be auto-filling this up and down. It's going to stay in one spot, so you don't have to worry about the autofill. The return array, in this case, is the ID. We're bringing back the ID. Okay? There's the if not found. What do you want to put in here? Again, I'll just put a dash for nothing was found. Now we got match mode. All right, we've been using exact match. Then we've got exact match or next smaller item or next larger item, which we used for the student grades. Okay? In this one, let's do a wildcard search. So that's value 2, wildcard search. All right, close the parentheses. All right, now in this case, it brought back James exactly. Okay, but if I put in, let's say, JAM, I get nothing. So you have to learn how to use the wildcard characters. Remember the wildcard characters? I covered those way back, and I think Access. I'm so used to teaching Access. Excel Expert 6, I think I covered wildcard characters. There is the star, which means any number of characters. There's the question mark, which means one character. And then there's the tilde, which means the next character after that is the character that you want. And you do that to go like tilde question mark means I want an actual question mark. Tilde asterisk means I want to look for an actual asterisk in the data. Or tilde tilde means I'm looking for an actual tilde. I almost never use the tildes. So here we put in the wildcard character. If I put in JAM star, that means any number of characters after that. If you want to use the question mark, you can go JAM question mark S like that, and it still brings it back as one character there will fit the E. If you want to provide the asterisks for your user, if you got someone that doesn't know Excel at all, you can put it right in the function actually. So let me get rid of this. Backspace, backspace. All right, so JAM gives you nothing because there's no wildcard characters in it. But if you open up the formula here, here's the lookup value. You can tack on the asterisks before and or after that G12 with some string concatenation. All right, so if you wanted to just be after the James, like JAM, like you could say start of first name, right? Just go ampersand and then an asterisk right there. And that will say find me whatever they type in with an asterisk after it. And there you go, now it's working. All right, or if I put in here MAL, there's 1107 for Malcolm Reynolds. You can put it on both sides if you want to make it so that any part of that string will be found, just like that. And now I can do AME, and I'll get James, AMES. That next option in there, notice if you put in, let's say, just an E, you're going to get the first record that has an E in it. All right, even though there are a couple more. The option in here, which is the next one over after match mode, there's first to last or last to first. So which end of the list do you want to start on? Okay, last to first gives you 1106 this time. That's the first one from the other side that's got the E. So you can decide which way you want to go with the search. Now there are two options on there: binary search sorted ascending order and descending order. Basically, a binary search is a much faster search, and that's usually only useful when you've got a really big spreadsheet, thousands and thousands of rows, and a slower computer, and Excel is bogging down doing a search because it's just running through each record iteratively. Well, if a binary search means you have to sort the list yourself first. That list has to be sorted. If not, then the binary search won't work. But if you do sort the list yourself, like a sorted list of customers, and you run a binary search, it's going to run a lot faster. However, in my personal opinion, if you've got that much data in an Excel spreadsheet, you should be using a database like Access. You shouldn't be having more than a couple screenfuls of data in Excel. That's my personal opinion. Excel is great for crunching small bits of data, a few hundred, maybe 1,000 or 2 rows, if that. Okay, once it gets up that high, then you should be in a database. So binary searches, yeah, for you Power Excel users, go ahead if your list is sorted already. Worth mentioning, they also updated the match function. Now there's XMatch. XMatch returns the position in the array of a particular unit. So if you want to see, for example, what number Leonard McCoy is, for example, or what number this guy is. Let's say this is returned. Let's say you put in here JAM, all right, and it brings back 1104. You want to know which number of this list it is, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can use match for that, right? Or XMatch. XMatch. Now I can't talk today. XMatch like that. The lookup value, let's say, is this guy, comma. Where's my array? This is the list of values right here. All right, comma. Again, same things. Exact match. Next smaller item, next larger item if it doesn't find it. Okay, so 0 is fine. And then there. So that's the fourth item in the array, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's useful for a bunch of different things. I covered the match function back in Excel Expert Level 4. Match and index are very powerful together. So if you want some good examples, go back and watch that one.